Morning 7A. Mr. O here, back like I never left. If you haven't had a chance to solve this morning work, go ahead and do so before I give away the answers. First thing we're going to do, we're going to take the inverse of plus 14 over 2, which is minus. So we're going to do the same thing to both sides of the equation. That will cancel out. Now, can we subtract these two fractions? Of course not. They don't have the same denominator. So I need to get this 2 to be a 4, just like the above number. So 2 times 2 is 4, and 14 times 2 equals 28. So I just subtract like normal. 36 minus 28 is 8, and then we keep our denominator the same, negative 5j. Now, what is negative 5 doing to j? It is multiplying. So the opposite of multiplying by a negative 5 is dividing by a negative 5, and that will just equal 1. So if I divide by negative 5, it's kind of a weird trick. Do you remember? So let's convert negative 5 into a fraction, 5 over 1, right? Because anytime we have a whole number, it's just that number divided by 1. Do you remember what to do if you divide a fraction? You're actually going to multiply by the reciprocal. So we're going to multiply 8 over 4 times, we're going to flip these two. We're going to multiply by the reciprocal. We're going to multiply by 1 over 5. So our answer is going to be 8 over 20, which we can further simplify because that is not in its simplest form. 8 is divisible by 4, as is the number 20. 8 divided by 4 is 2. 20 divided by 4 is 5. So the answer is 2/5. I have a bonus question for you. Very few of you beat me yesterday, and that's a shame. Today I have an even more difficult problem. I want to know what is 18% of $35.50. Now, I'll go ahead and waste some time to give you a head start. 18% is a tip that a lot of people might give. Some people just round up and give 20%, but 18% when you go to a restaurant is a pretty typical tip. A typical tip. All right, that's enough time for you. Time to dominate. Prepare yourself. Go ahead and multiply. Got to convert 18% into a decimal. Okay. So over here, I've got 2 decimal places and 2 decimal places. So I'll keep that in mind. Okay. All right. So 8 times 0, 8 times 5 is 0. 4 times 5. 28. Did you remember your units? Hopefully you got $6.39. Now, one thing that might have tripped you up a little bit, remember, when you're multiplying something and it has a decimal place, keep track of the number of decimal places, and then you just multiply like normal. At the end of the problem, you need to move the decimal point over the same number of times as the number of decimal points over here. So like if we have 35 and 50, right here I've got 2 decimal places, 1 and 2. So I tally them. And 0.18, I've got 1 and 2. Okay, so total I have 4. So right here you got to move the decimal point over 1, 2, 3, 4. So you should have got $6.39. Did you get that correct? Some nice real world application here because soon and very soon, you will need to be tipping people at restaurants.